being the art kid in grade school for 12 years, essentially, you know, going into fine art school and thinking I wanted to become a painter, ending up becoming a woodworker and furniture designer, then moving into all the careers. You never really know where life is going to take you. So it's winding, but we all get there eventually.
I knew from when I was like little, I always wanted to do art. Like, regardless of how and why and what, it was gonna be art in some form or capacity. I've always been like a hands-on, like learning type of person, so a visual medium was really easy for me because I need to see things for it to work. It's like, okay, paint stroke, whatever. I can see it now, it's blue. That made sense in my head.
I think design in particular is a lot of problem solving. I've always really liked puzzles and like logic challenges, so I think figuring out how people perceive and retain information through design is part of that logic and puzzle solving, so it's very satisfying.
It generally starts off with like some sketches, some mood boards, like a color here or there, like I really like this, or like a composition, like I want to recreate something like that, or I want to capture this emotion, whatever. And then you build like a sketch off of that, you build a mock-up or whatever. I don't have like a super obscure process. I think it's just like a cool idea, show off the idea. Okay, how we clean this up? Cool, good talk, clean it up, kind of thing.
My process always starts from getting references, seeing what other people are doing, and not necessarily copying it, but gathering a bunch of different ideas and seeing how you can like mishmash them all together into something new. My process always begins with pen and paper because that's where my humble beginnings started. It goes from pen and paper into digital like wires and lines, and then you start to experiment with colors and fill out shapes and figure out layouts. So it's just a step-by-step process.
Sometimes I can be called a perfectionist, which I try not to be because that's part of the process. When you have an image in your head, sometimes you just want it to go perfectly with that image, and if it doesn't work, you'll have creative block, or you'll work tirelessly to get that image, and it sometimes just never comes out. The technical process of overcoming a creative block is probably the biggest issue for me.
And I think it's exponential when you're when it's based on a passion, and you know, with art and design being a passion, it's ever looming. Sometimes the imposter syndrome, but you know, I think when you're surrounded by a good team that believes in you and trusts you to make awesome stuff every day, then you know, it's not as hard as you think it is.
When you're part of a group of people that when you have that vision come together with what everyone aligns with, it's a really good feeling.
I mostly work in After Effects and Illustrator. They're both very tedious tools, a lot of like detail-oriented stuff, but I like the control I have with both of them.
Photoshop, Procreate, Illustrator, those are like the main three. The new laptop, one, it's fast, and that makes me really happy. Especially with Canvas, just paint a mountain out of nowhere, it's so funny. It's so good though. Having non-invasive tools, but also tools that know exactly what I'm doing and what I want to do, and like they can give me like just a little push in the right direction, that's really cool.
I think efficiency just helps the flow. I mean, you know, roadblocks, whether it's personal art block or technology roadblocks, it's, you know, you get into this momentum of like getting ideas out and really just like hitting the ground running. And when you're just able to like flow through everything and get everything that's like clouding up in your brain out on paper, out on screens or computers, it's super satisfying. I think every day something new is coming out to improve the process, and you know, if you're not catching up to it, somebody is going to hone their skill in that sooner than you are.
Before, I would take days to do what even like part of what I want to do now, and having something that's even faster than what I'm doing now. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna bust out 4 or 5 pieces in a day. That's not the goal. The goal is to I can have my dreams and my goals will become that much more concise and that much more efficient. Where I can like, if I tell you I want to make something, I can exactly show you what it is. I can't like, oh, this is kind of it. No, it's like, this is it. And that's the main goal.
I think also, you know, with new technology, as I was talking about earlier, and like trying to hone in on these like applications that people are developing to help make art and design easier. this laptop would help exponentially with that.